Hello, Sanmonani. Welcome to the weekend preview where we'll be previewing the Carling Play Cable quarterfinals that are playing over this weekend. But first of all, before we go into the games, if you are new, welcome to the channel. If you have been here before, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more content that's coming out regarding SA football and football in general. Onto our show. Just before we get on to the games, let's start by congratulating the Springboks. They've done us very proud as a country. We are very happy as a nation. It's been a joyful week, and obviously the past 3 weeks where we played New Zealand, we played England, and we also played France with close encounters and close scores and winning over there. Congratulations to the Springboks. Secondly, congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns. They are into the Africa Football League final. They will be playing Wydad Casablanca in a two-legged final that will be playing firstly in Mamelodi on the 11th, and then the following week will be taking on in Casablanca. So we wish them well. We will also congratulate them on reaching the final of this new tournament that is taking place. Okay, when we get on to the Carling Play Table games that are playing on this weekend, firstly, we start by looking at, before we go into the games, let's just talk about a bit about the refereeing situation that's going on in the entire world. When you look at it, it's not only an issue that affects South Africa, but it's an issue that affects Africa and the globe in general in terms of football. Because we've seen clubs like here in South Africa have cheaper, have made a statement complaining about the refereeing system that is taking place here on all the issues that they've had. Strangely enough, they've benefited in most of occasions that referees have made errors on, but they've also, like the last game where they played against Amazulu in the Premier League, they benefited from a goal that should have been there, but because our refereeing system is still at fault or still needs to improve, so they got away with it. But they made a statement that they're complaining about the issues that they have on hand. Also, Al Ali, they've made a statement complaining about the few games that they've played in CAF and also in the Africa Football League. They've made statements. We saw also the press conference before the game between Mamelodi Sundowns and Al Ali. The interviews and the media was on the Mamelodi Sundowns coach Rolani Mokoena about they've seemed to benefit. Mamelodi Sundowns seems to benefit a lot from the refereeing errors that take place. But he also, what I like about him, he also stood up for himself that he defends his team, and the errors that happen, they're double-edged sword because sometimes they fall against them and sometimes they fall on their favor. So you cannot really say they just benefit because sometimes they also suffer from errors that take place. Also in England, there's a same thing that the referees are making errors, or there are even questions about whether is refereeing progressing or regressing under the situation of VAR. But I was very happy with the referee that handled the semi-final between Wydad Casablanca and Mamelodi Sundowns because he handled it very well, and also the VAR included in that game handled the situation very well, or the game at large. It was pretty much a world class refereeing system or performance that they gave there. So going into the weekend, we're looking at the Carling Play Cable Cup that's taking over the quarterfinals, right? Firstly, before we get there, there's an issue that maybe people who don't understand or get where it's coming from. The Carling Play Cable, before, it was only played by Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs, and the votes or the starting 11 were made by the votes that were made by the fans. But now with the new system, it's all include the 16 teams in the leagues, and it also includes the man of the match. It's only now the man of the match that is voted by the fans or the supporters, right? So the issue at hand here, and I also like the comment that was made by the Golden Arrows head coach Mapudi Kanyeza, because the issue here has been a strange selection or votes, we would say, for the man of the match player. Because what he said is that, and I quote, what he said is that sometimes someone would be just walking around the pitch and then they would get to be voted as man of the match. Someone could be just smiling and they get to be voted man of the match. So it's a questionable system that works there with who gets this 100,000, because what you also have to understand is that over a period of 90 minutes or 120 minutes, plus including penalties at times, a person can just make 100,000 where else they don't deserve that 100,000, or the performance that they put in didn't deserve to be called or nominated as a man of the match for that game. So he even said that, as because we know that it's only out of the three main or giant teams that we have here in South Africa, Mamelodi Sundowns have been knocked out. Kaizer Chiefs has been knocked out. The only one that's left with more fan crowds is Orlando Pirates. So if they get knocked out, who would be voting? He even said that maybe we could have a game where even the referee is the man of the match, voted the man of the match. So I don't know if we agree with the system that the voting for the man of the match, does it still needs to remain with the fans, or we take it back to the analysts. But also with the analysts, it's been a problem also there, because there seems to be players that are liked or favored. I don't know why, but sometimes players that don't deserve the man of the match award or reward of that 100,000, they get to win it. So it's still a questionable situation of who gets to vote for the man of the match. But at this point in time, we'll just carry on with the system that we have at hand, where is the voters or the fans vote for the man of the match. So if you even play 5 minutes and then you get subbed off or get injured, you can still win that man of the match if they vote you as man of the match. So you get the situation that it's a questionable system, as much as they try to adopt from that old setup, but it's not working, or it's questionable in terms of the first game that have taken place, the people and that have got the rewards or the nominations or the awards of being a man of the match. So going to these games, the first game that we'll have is between Ipolokwane City and Stellenbosch, taking place on Friday, 7:30. Captain City or Polokwane City, pardon me. Polokwane City, they played against Supersport United, their away game, and it was surprisingly they won 4-1. I think no one expected Polokwane City to perform in that manner, but they performed. They showed up for the game, and they won a clear and comfortable 4-1 against Supersports United. And Stellenbosch, on the first game, they were away to Chippa United. They won 2-1 there, away from home. And their second game, or the quarterfinal, they'll be playing against Ipolokwane City away again. I think this issue of away, some teams can really manage to get a win away from home, and Stellenbosch is a good side that is capable of getting a win away from home, and under difficult circumstances or under a heavily supported crowd, with the atmosphere and the fans coming in together and rallying behind the team, they are just able to pull up a win away from home, even in difficult times. Then the second game, or the second two games, will be played on Saturday, Saturday the 4th of November, and both of the games will be played in one venue at Moses Mapida Stadium. I think with the new Culling Black Label, or the Culling Black Label team, they've looked at the situation and say, why should we pay for Richards playing in Mlazi and Amazulu playing in Moses Mapida? So why not we just cut the cost and then bring the both games into one venue, and also the fans So the fans will get a spoil, will be treated very nice to two games. I think there will be two competitive games, if you ask me, because the first game is between Richards Bay and Orlando Pirates, and Richards Bay they won against the Morocco Swallows. They were playing home. Also, this game is their home game because they are locally from Devon, or they use Kings Wellington as their home ground. So it's just a stone throw from Queens Wellington to Moses Mabhida Stadium. So they will be just a home away from home for them. And Orlando Pirates, they played Cape Town Spurs and they won 2-0 escorting Sakama Minzela. And surprisingly, yesterday, Orlando Pirates lost to Cape Town City that they beat just a fortnight ago. At home, they won 2-1. 2-0, sorry, 2-0 they won at home. And then they went on to lose 2-1 to Cape Town Spurs, which the fixtures or the venues were reversed now. So I think between the two games, or everyone won on home advantage, just to say. But Orlando Pirates, and what has turned out is that they are now becoming cup specialists. They're making sure that every cup that they play, they are able to turn up and win the cup or tournament. So I think with this one again, they'll be looking to play and win it because the new setup is new, but it's the same cup with the new setup and more teams. So it's a bit more difficult than it was on the previous years, or just playing one day, two games, one game, and then you've lifted a trophy. So this time they have to work for it. But Orlando Pirates, a good side, just struggling in the league at the moment, I think. But I believe that they will pick up the points. I think they will be at very hamlet. The teams, the chasing pack, which will be chasing Mamelodi Sundowns. I think they will be down there with those teams that will be chasing Mamelodi Sundowns. The second game playing also at Moses Mabhida is a KZN derby between Amazulu and Golden Arrows. Amazulu coming to this game, they won away from home, knocking out the Kaizer Chiefs on 1-0. I think that's the last game that we saw Molefe Nsegi, and it's a game where the Kaizer Chiefs fans were throwing missiles onto the pitch, and it also led to now them facing a one-match ban, currently a one-match ban that will take place on, I think, on the 11th against Cape Town Spurs, where there will be just a lockout for the fans where the only team will just play there alone, because this has been a carrying issue, or a carrying thing, a behavior that has been going on at Kaizer Chiefs, where fans they voice their, or they act or their frustrations out on the team and the coach by throwing missiles and being violently behaving at stadiums. So Amazon going to these games, they won away from home, a difficult place, or a difficult venue to win a game at. And then Golden Arrows, they've been flying very well. They are second, or second or third in the league. Obviously, they play with Super Sports. They just switching the places at the moment until that settles on who's actually chasing Mamelodi Sundowns. And they won 3-1. They were playing at home. They won 3-1 against Cape Town City. Yeah, they won 3-1 against Cape Town City. And I think Golden Arrows have started very well this season, losing a coach, Uvosi Vilagazi, but they still kept on the structure. Mapuri Kanyeza is rallying behind the team, pushing there. I can also see that they are working very hard for this season. And I think it would be a sad thing if they don't win a trophy or anything that is meaningful, because they've started well, but it's up there to be seen whether they will finish well, or will they be able to maintain this pressure or maintain the winning streak that is there. So the KZN Derby, Amazulu, Golden Arrows playing at 7. The first game between Richards Bay and Orlando Pirates is playing at 3. And the second game on the same venue, on the same stadium, is playing at 7. So, and then the last game for the Calling Black Label quarterfinals is between Iskukune United and TS Galaxy, but also playing on Saturday. So I think the draw will also come after the game or shortly on Sunday. The draw should be out there. But Iskukune, they won playing at home against Rwale M the previous game. They won 1-0 against the Royal AM going to the quarterfinals there. And then in TS Galaxy, they played Mamelodi Sundowns. They played a 2-2 draw. I think it's that game where Bennett Parker got injured and broke his leg. We wish him a speedy recovery and all the best in terms of him working to coming back on the field, because I've seen a few videos on social media that he's now working on other parts, because I believe that you can also work on your core and your upper body strength at the moment. But we wish him all the best, and we've seen the interview by Rolani Mukwena on, I think it's Metro FM or a radio station, where he showed that there was remorse shown by Sundowns, although it was not seen on public, or they haven't gone about it on a public way, but they have acted in showing that they are with the player and it was a mistake or an error to for him to be injured like that, and they hope that he gets a speedy recovery. So TS Galaxy, they played Mamelodi Sundowns 2-2 draw. Then it went to penalties for deciding. TS Galaxy winning 5-4 on penalties. And this was the second game where Mamelodi Sundowns lost the game on penalties. So they lost on penalties against, excuse me, they lost on penalties against Orlando Pirates on the MTN 8. And then they lost again on TS Galaxy 5-4 on penalties again. So those are the games that we're looking at over this weekend, playing on Friday and Saturday. Now we move on to the score predictions of these games. The first game, Polokwane City and Stellenbosch. I would put it at 1-0 Stellenbosch. A 1-0 win for the Stellies. I would give them. Second game, Richards Bay versus Orlando Pirates. I would say Orlando Pirates win it by 2-0. Orlando Pirates, I think they'll pull out a win, because when you look at it, also Moses Mabhida has been a strong or a very good hunting ground for Orlando Pirates in terms of playing cup competitions. And so I think even though Richards Bay is at home, away from home, but Orlando Pirates will just get a win over them. So it's 2-1 Orlando Pirates. The second game also playing on Saturday, Amazulu versus the Golden Arrows. This one, I think GMB is coming right with, in terms of the boys are picking up the style of play and everything now is starting to gel. But I believe the Golden Arrows will find a way, because the Golden Arrows over lately, they are playing football and they are winning games. So I think they will come to that game, obviously, from winning against Kaizer Chiefs on the weekend, winning 2-1. They will be in high spirits going to this cup game. And then Amazulu, they suffered a draw under the referee or the officiating errors that happened over that game. But I believe that Golden Arrows will take it 2-1. 2-1 Golden Arrows. The last game, Skukune versus TS Galaxy. Tough game. I think it will be close. I think it's a 1-1 draw. And then TS Galaxy wins it on penalties. I think TS Galaxy will win it on penalties. Yeah. Those are the predictions, or my predictions on the game. You can also leave your predictions on the comment section. Tell us what you think about the reference situation that we spoke about. And also the man of the match system. Do we need to change it? Do we need to stick to it? What are your views about it? Or also, who was nominated that you believe that didn't deserve or didn't perform as well as they should have been given, or the performance that they gave that should be allowed to receive the man of the match? So lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the channel, and see you in the next one, because on the next one we'll be doing the reviews, the weekend reviews, all these game reviews, and I also want to check my predictions of the game. So the next video will be coming up, or after this game we will also do a weekend review where we review this game. So we'd like to see you on the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you again. Sharp, sharp.